Are you experiencing stress due to multitasking? Here are 3 tips to solve the stress. Number 1, multitasking is actually an illusion. I personally can only do things one thing at a time, and so can my students. What we do is we focus, we bring our attention to whatever the task is at hand, and we do one task at a time, bringing it from start to completion before we move on to the next thing, or we make sure that if we're stopping somewhere in the middle, that we know that's the stopping point, and then we start the next project. Number 2, priorities. If I have a list of 10 things I need to do in a day, which I like to come up with at the beginning or middle of my day, I like to make sure I know which are the highest importance and urgency and which are down the list. Additionally, if I have a list of 10 things, I like to keep track of which 2 or 4, or maybe more, are going to take me between 5 to 10 minutes, and I do those first. I cannot tell you how much lighter the load feels when I go from having 10 things to do down to having only 6 things to do, because I took the first 30 minutes to an hour to do the quick tasks and get those off my desk. Number 3, I focus on taking breaks and having rest periods. So if I get through that little slot of time, that hour where we just finished those 4 things, I take a break. I celebrate the fact that I just whittled down my to-do list for the day by 40%. That's a big deal. I take a break, I get up, I walk around, I drink some water, I give myself some time to appreciate what I just did. Just like in the gym, having rest periods is important, sleeping is important for recovery. It allows me to have more focus for more hours of the day. It's not the specific Pomodoro technique based on a certain amount of time and then a certain break. That can be limiting for me because I'll be in the middle of something during the 45 minutes. My alarm will buzz for my Pomodoro to start, but I want to keep doing what I'm doing and then I fall out of the cycle. So for me, it's based on the task, not based on the time. And I make sure that when I finish a task, the one thing at a time, based on tip number 1, I take the time to appreciate it, take a little break so that I can have new energy and new focus for the next one task I'm going to focus on in my list of priorities like we talked about in number 2. Stay happy, y'all.